one thing I see in Jesus, with the exception of turning over the tables in temple, is generally the non-anxious presence. That he has this exchange of ideas with people, even people who vehemently disagree with him and are his ardent enemies. He has this calm way of responding, or at least that's our vision of him, of responding, and sometimes not responding. Sometimes just walking away, walking through the midst of them, or whatever. This kind of, and I think that, to me, tells us that there is a way of being a leader, being the source of information and things like that, to being a leader that does not demand us to mediate in an obvious way, to fix, rescue, whatever, but there also is a way of keeping our silence, walking away, seeing that there's another time, that
there's some conflicts that can't be mediated. The conflict in Nazareth that he walks away from that's a theological conflict that's not mediatable.
Right.
Plucking heads of grain on the Sabbath, that's a little lower down on the intensity scale.
Right.
That's a conversation that lots of rabbis would have with each other
anyway.
To try to clarify the Sabbath regulations, and so he engages those.
Right.
And sometimes he does have a tone of voice, though.
That's true.
There's a
particularly
snarkiness.
in Jerusalem.
Yeah, there's a sarcasm. Yeah, friend.
Woe to you.
Yes.
You call yourself a rabbi? You call yourself a teacher? You don't even know that.
Yeah.
Well, and even the difference between one-on-one, like with Nicodemus, or addressing the crowd, or addressing the Pharisees, or whatever. I think that there are some contextual issues that we need to be aware of. The one person that comes into our office is very different than speaking before the council of the church.
And Jesus, before the Sanhedrin, is not our model for conflict resolution in the church either. I mean, that's a deeply frayed theological context there. We aren't likely to encounter that.
Right.
Somebody pointed out once that Jesus responds to questions with questions. And I started to take a look at that and found that to be true. And whenever Jesus is confronted with something, he'll respond with a parable. He'll respond with another question. But you never see him take out his, stone PowerPoint and say, well, reason number one, reason number two. It's a very different way of engaging with people through story and through connection. He doesn't avoid people. Let's don't go in there because the Sanhedrin are there. We need to walk around. He defines himself while he is in contact with all these other folks.